Hi, 7th graders. All right, we are going to start our lesson on chapter 2, so I need you guys to turn to page 43. It's this blue page. Now remember, when I'm recording lessons like this, the benefit that you guys have is that you can pause the video whenever you need. If I'm going too fast or if you need something re-explained, you can rewind. Make sure you utilize that and pause when you need to, okay? All right, so we're on page 43. Now, this page is just kind of like a review about what you have already done before, something you guys should all know how to already do this, okay? Most of this you learned in 3rd grade, 4th grade, or 5th grade. So we'll just go through it. We'll start with the very first red dot up here. See this guy up here? Okay, so it says writing decimals and fractions, okay? Now, when you are writing a decimal as a fraction, you write it how you say it. For example, I get lazy and I say that's 0.37, but that's not how we actually say it in math. We say that that is 37 hundredths. If you forgot the place values, that would be the tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths, and so on and so on and so on. So my little trick for you is however many numbers are behind the decimal, that's how many zeros you're going to put in your denominator. For example, this is 37 hundredths. There are 2 numbers behind the decimal, so you'll have 2 zeros in your hundred, okay? So you'd write it as 37 hundredths. And then I would reduce it if I can, but it looks like that one does not reduce very well, so that's how I'd leave it, okay? Another example would be if I had 0.632, okay? Now, I say that is 632 thousandths, but let's say you don't know your place values very well. You just count how many numbers are behind the decimal. 1, 2, 3. So that's how many zeros your number would have on the bottom. So this would be 632 over 1, 2, 3, 1,000. Okay? And that trick works all the time. However, with that one, what I'm noticing is you can reduce that one. So then I'd reduce it and divide by, all that good stuff. Okay, so I'm going to erase that for now. I'm going to do another example with you. Let's say I had 3.25, okay? So this is my whole number, so that's my big digit, 3. And then I say this is 25 hundredths. Now, if you forgot your place values, you could just say that's 25 over how many numbers? 2, so it'll be 100 because there'll be 2 zeros, okay? So 3 and 25 hundredths. Now, like I said, 25 hundredths, that can reduce. Oops, not divide by 4, divide by 5 by each time. 25 divided by 5 is 5. 100 divided by 5 is 20. It looks like I can continue on dividing each of these by 5 again. That gives me 1, and that gives me 4, 1/4. Okay, so I would say this is 3 and 1/4. Okay? All right, so that's your first example. To go from decimal to fraction, you just write it how you say it. 37 hundredths, 37 hundredths. Okay? And then you could use my trick if you forgot the place value. All right, I'm going to erase my work over here. And now, over here is how do you write fractions as decimals? Now, what I want you to remember is that when you write a fraction as a decimal, all you have to do is divide. Now, in this example, they're not showing you that. They're showing how you can turn it into a tenth, and then you can write it, but not always can you turn the denominator into a tenth so easily. So, for example, 2/5 would be like this. Okay, how many times can 5 go into 2? Well, it doesn't, so we put a 0 and a decimal, add a new 0. How many times can 5 go into 20? 4 times. So 5 times 4 is 20. Subtract, we get 0, so our final answer is 0.4. Okay? So what I want you to remember is to turn a fraction into a decimal, all you do is divide. Okay? Just divide. All right. Now, do you see the try it yourself section? Right here, we've got question 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? I want you on your homework tonight, your homework is going to be to do 1, 2, and 3, and 4. There's more questions, don't worry. but I want you to turn these two into fractions and these two into decimals, okay? If you need help, you can go back to my video and rewatch how to do that. All right, we'll keep going. Then we're going to add and subtract fractions. Now, the big thing you got to remember when adding and subtracting fractions is they have to have a common denominator, okay? And the least common is the best, but if not, that's okay. We can reduce at the end. So let's just look at the example of 1/3 plus 1/5. They started out with 1/3 plus 1/5, and then they found the common denominator would be 15. Do you see these 15s changed? So they said, how did I get from 3 to 15? Well, I times it by 5. Now, if I do it to the bottom, I have to do it to the top. That's how they got 5/15 right there, okay? So then they did the same thing with the 1/5. They said, how do I get from 1/5 to 3/15? Well, I times them both by 3. So now I have 5/15 plus 3/15. 5 plus 3 equals, you just add these two numbers. 5 plus 3 is 8. Keep your denominators the same, and your answer is 8/15. Okay? Now, same thing with subtraction. All you do is find a common denominator. 1/4 minus 2/9, those two guys have a common denominator of 36. So if you look down here, they already changed our numerators and our denominators for the 36, and they did that right here. You can see how they did it, okay? Then they said, what's 9 minus 8? 1. And you keep your denominators the same. So your answer is 1/36. Okay? And then down here, multiplying fractions and dividing fractions. You guys should have learned this maybe 5th, 6th grade. So remember, multiplying fractions is super, super easy. All you do is you take your numerators and multiply them, and your denominators and multiply them. 3 times 5 is 15. 6 times 4 is 24. Can I reduce that? I think I can. Let's go ahead and reduce. What can I take out of both of these? A 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5. 24 divided by 3 is 8. I cannot reduce that any further, so my answer would be 5/8. Okay, multiplying, super fun. Just straight across, straight on the bottom. Now, dividing is super fun too. Remember, you skip it, you flip it, and you multiply. So for example, if I had 2/3 divided by 9/10, I skip it, leave it how it is, I flip it, so this would be now 10/9, and then I change my division sign to a multiplication sign, okay? I can put a big old red dot right there. So now I have 2/3 times 10/9. 2 times 10, sorry, that's gone now. 2 times 10 is 20. 9 times 3 is 27. 20/27. I cannot reduce that, so that is my final answer. Okay. Remember, we don't say skip, flip, and multiply now. We say we multiply by the reciprocal, okay? Reciprocal is the one that we flip. All right, so now your homework for today is to do 5, 6, 7, and 8. Solve for them, okay? Some of them are adding and subtracting. Some of them are multiplying and dividing. So homework tonight is page 43, 1 through 8. The ones that I highlighted, that's your homework, okay? When you are all done, make sure at the top of your paper it says page 43, 1 through 8. I want you to take a picture of it and upload it to the Google Classroom like we practiced. You're going to click on the button that says add or create, and you're going to click that and it'll say upload file. When you click upload file, it'll give you the option to upload from your drive. And your picture should be in your drive because if you emailed it to yourself, you can click on that little button that kind of looks like a triangle, but it's got like, I don't know, it's got like weird little arrows in it. Looks like the recycle sign almost. That's your Google Drive button. Click on the Google Drive button on your picture. That'll save it into your drive and then upload it, okay? Remember, if you have like 2 pages of homework, I need you to upload both pages. Do not upload just the last page, okay? Upload everything you did for your homework that night. All right, guys, we probably will have the same digital assignment type thing tomorrow as well. I don't know when I'll be back. Just depends on when I get my results. All right, thanks, guys. Goodbye.